everyone, and welcome to another episode of Professors. I am Lucy. You guys all know me, but I have a special guest with us here today. I'm actually accompanied by Kaz. How are you doing today?
I'm doing excellent. Thanks for asking, Lucy. Excited to give this rundown for Professors tonight.
Yeah, I am super excited too. And it looks a little bit different here. We're doing stuff a little bit different now from season 6 onwards. We're going to be using the casting team as part of the professor segments just so we can keep everything a little bit internal. Helps a little bit easier on the back end of things. So it'll be looking a little bit different here, but I hope you guys still enjoy it. And you guys will still get all the amazing info that you need. And as of course we get to see some more familiar faces as well. I mean, Kaz, you're kind of new here on the casting team and with all of us, so it's really exciting to get you here on another segment here. So I'm really excited. I think it's gonna be a lot of fun.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me. And yeah, I'm really excited. I think also it's really nice to have like personalities outside of maybe pros to represent the game because, you know, some of us casters are not too bad at the game either. We play a little bit.
Yeah, actually, we all play quite a bit. So yeah, it'll be exciting to get us here in a little bit of a different light, and we get to learn a little bit more about you this time around too. I mean, since this is your first time in Professors, I get to ask you some of the just basic questions that I ask everyone else. Like, how did you find Eternal Return? When did you actually start playing the game?
So I've been playing for a very long time. I've been playing about as long as most of the casting desk. So I started in EA in season one. I had some friends recommend me it. Back then, I only really played squads, and then one of our former casters, Vixarius, actually, I joined their server, and they kind of like networked me into a lot of the communities that I ended up talking to, and then I started talking to people like players like Homecoming, Pie Master, Celeste, and those were the guys that really like kind of got me to stay with the game and start playing solos more and engaging with the community more.
Awesome. Yeah. So you're definitely part of the old heads like me. So you've been here for a very, very long time. So thank you so much for sticking around. Cause look at you now. We're all grown up and doing more for the game, which is always really exciting and heartwarming to see. And now you're gonna be representing Hisui. So, tell us a little bit about the character in general. Like what I guess like what kind of character is she? What is she the type of character for certain people or anything like that?
So, if chat knows, I was a bit of a Camilla aficionado, and I think if you really like melee carries or melee hyper carries, Hisui's a great character for you. If you've played Camilla in the past, I actually think there's a lot of intersectionality. And some of the other melee carries, maybe like Aiden, I think these characters translate really well to Hisui. And if that's your preference of playstyle, right, you want to be this aggressive, not tank. You're not a tank, but maybe a little bit of a like carry bruiser or carry like melee, then Hisui's perfect for that.
So yeah, I think that's a great representation of the character. I think we can get right in on the actual segment itself. Here we kind of got a little bit of a backstory for everyone here. So we'll obviously start off with the build that you like to play, and that's pretty recommended around here. We'll get the code in the chat for everyone as well. And yeah, you can just pull up the code here at the top, and we'll just kind of run down everything one by one whenever you are ready.
Yeah, absolutely. All right. So, before I even preface this, there's a different deviation of this build that's just with Vampiric, and I can run through the augments later. But there's like this is the exact same build route. So you want to start out with Manahoshi Zao, Turnout Coat, Welding Helmet, Plasma Arc, and White Rhinos.
Awesome. Yeah. And so, why are these the items that we are building under? Is there anything like important that we need to note when we're making builds for the character?
So one of the big things that Hisui has is she has a passive that converts any. First of all, attack speed affects her cast time and her cooldowns. So
Mhm.
there's cooldown reduction does not actually affect this character's cooldowns, and it does not affect her cast time. But what does matter is having AP and attack speed. So when you're starting on your base build, you actually want around 5 attack speed items, so that you can hit your fastest cast time and hit your fastest cooldown efficiency.
Oh, okay. So that's an important thing to note here. Awesome. Yeah, and with that, we can go into tax skills second here. You can just kind of highlight which ones can be used, but what's obviously preferred.
So I prefer, and I think a lot of the current Hisui players prefer False Oath. I think you can always run Blink. Blink is just an insane utility tool. If you need to, I wouldn't recommend this because I don't think Hisui is great as a solo frontliner, but you might be able to deviate into Force Field or Protocol Violation as well. but then you're kind of not playing to what you're actually wanting to do as Hisui. So I'd really just recommend sticking to False Oath or Blink if you really need to get backline access.
Yeah, and why do we pick false oath? I do see that quite a bit here. What's the advantages of having false oath?
So Hisui likes a to heal a lot, right, in fights, and also the
Mhm.
damage buff matters a lot. But she has a lot of staying power in fights, right? So False Oath kind of plays into that identity of the bruiser carry. You'll see it on a lot of other melee carries. You see it on Camillo as well, where if you're staying in the fight and you're supposed to be a present, like very present in the fight as a melee, False Oath just provides so much value as a fight extends.
Awesome. I did see one question in the chat. Someone asked about Totem. I did see that a little bit on her release. I mean, what are your thoughts on Totem as an option?
I think Totem it it can be a kind of acceptable crutch for some situations, but you are playing a
Mhm.
two-handed character, right? So you have parry for safety. I think you should lean in more to your damage identity, right? And your role as a carry. I
Mhm.
think Totem is much better if you kind of like if you need that safety, but you have a lot of safety tools in Hisui's kit, and we'll go over it later, like how many ways you can actually keep yourself safe as Hisui. And I don't think Totem actually really plays into the character's identity that much. You might like it, but I think as your ceiling with the character rises, as you get better with the character, you'll see a lot more value from False Oath.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, I can see that. Yeah, next we can go into augments here. And remember you said you had like two different kind of routes for augments, so you can highlight them both here and whatever else could work.
Absolutely. So Hisui is a lover of blue red or red blue, either or. So for the primary augment, you're always going to either go bitter retribution or vampiric. And then you're actually just going to follow this exact. So you're going to go embolden because she has heals in her kit and she also has access to shields. And then you're going to go cavalcade because often you'll find yourself actually pretty deep in the back line where you're getting a lot of cavalcade value. And then there's not really great options for the first one, for the first of frenzy or outside of frenzy for the first havoc option. So contempt for the weak, I think is actually quite weak in a lot of situations because you're often going to be diving from on a full HP squishy target, and then you don't really need that excess damage. And dismantle Goliath, you are a melee character, so you just have higher HP scalings. Frenzy, again, it's not the highest value because you have a lot of siphon in your kit elsewhere, but still having a little bit of ability to keep yourself topped up is good. And then Anima Reaper is just, I think, best in slot on a lot of melee characters in general if you're going to go into the red tree. So if you want to deviate into the Vampiric build, you'd be doing the same thing. You just go Vampiric, Frenzy, Anima Reaper, and then Embolden Cavalcade. You would just reverse this build.
Awesome. Sounds pretty easy peasy. And we got two more things here. We go into late game items here. What can you tell us about our transitions?
So Hisui, again, melee carry, Aoyai is just an insane item, and I think it kind of just synergizes so well with Hisui's identity. Next up is Auto Arms. Now, Auto Arms is a little more expensive, right? Because you're going double force core. It is acceptable. It is lower damage, but you will get a little more tankiness if you go Myth Shield. So if your team doesn't have or gets a lot of myths and you don't have a slam for it, it's absolutely acceptable. Go to Myth Shield just so you can get your build rolling. Blue Flames is just 2x. Oh, sorry, I'll go over the items for you. Ao Yai, obviously, you get the deferral, which is a reduction of the damage you're taking. And if you're reducing the burst damage, it just lets you stay in the fight for that much longer. Auto Arms is an excellent item. Lots of AP, lots of defense, and then Tenacity is an incredibly valuable stat that isn't found in a lot of items, especially because it's kind of hard for Hisui to slot in Boots of Hermes. Next up is Blue Flame. Again, I was talking about attack speed slots. You do want still, after you're transitioning, to have some attack speed slots. I recommend about three. As you progress in levels, obviously you get higher base attack speed scaling, so you don't need as many to hit that maximum value for your cast values. But blue flames, white rhinos are the white rhinos upgrade blade blutes, and then I don't actually transition off Mana Hushi's unless I get a Dane's lift. It's just I think the upgrades are very marginal. I think Plasma Sword is acceptable, or Aurora Longsword rather, but
Mhm.
I think it'd be better to give those resources to your team because again, Eternal Return is a team game, and I think your teammates will have better uses for meteorites or trees than you will. And I think it's better just to focus on either getting that VF or sitting on the Monohoshi's out just because it's so stat efficient. Omni Siphon attack speed and AP, just an insane item.
Yeah, for sure. Is there any other like VF items that are worth going?
Absolutely. If your team really loves you and you get more than 1 PF, you can go into Red Shoes. Red Shoes is also incredibly synergistic, right? It's basically just a direct upgrade to Blade Boots, and you get Omni Siphon as well as an incredibly strong healing reduction effect. And because Hisui actually has a decent amount of AoE, she's actually not the worst applicator of anti-heal either.
Mhm. Awesome. And then our last thing is skill leveling here. This is gonna be kind of a mouthful. We're just gonna go through each ability here for everyone, and then we'll get into the next part. So, without further ado,
So a little bit of a refresher on my Lumiapedia. So Rengeki is a slash that does a little bit of AoE, and then in the front, it will slow the target. That's really important. This is basically the bread and butter to enabling your next ability, which is your Iaido Strike. And this is like everything in Hisui's kit. This is what makes her kind of a toolkit character. Is she stacks based on the ability she hits, and she has a different cast depending on how many stacks she has. So the first one, clear cut, is just a slash right in front of you that does max HP damage and also gives you a shield, which can be really good for these front to back fights where you might not get great backline access. You can just kind of actually do a lot of damage to the front line and also give yourself some safety. Flash Cut, her second stacks, is actually, I think, a really underrated ability when people are learning Hisui. This is a really strong ability for getting backline access because what it does is it blinks you to the backline and then does a little mini knockup and you'll stop at the first target, the last target you hit, right? So if you're hitting or I think it's the first target actually, but if you're able to isolate a backliner and get the W2 off, then you have all this free reign to hit the target. And then obviously, I think the W3 is what everybody knows Hisui to be a monster for. I think there's a lot of priority on it. It's the Nishirin cut, which is a big AoE slash that also heals you, and you're untargetable during the entirety duration of it. And so a lot of your fights are going to be how do I get to W3 the most efficiently and most safely so that I can threaten the backline with this huge amount of damage and also just sustain through the fight. But it's not the entirety identity of the kit. Do not ignore how high value both clear cut and flash cut can be, her W1 and W2. Next
Mhm.
up is Getsurun Slash. So this is a really unique slash, honestly, because you or dash rather, because you step back a little bit and then you do a little crescent shape before you dash forward. It's not a direct linear dash. It has a bit of a curvature to it, and it allows for some creative angles and kind of for you to like maybe dash around the front line. I do think it can be a little clunky when you're learning the character because it's so different from other characters, but it does have its uses as well as if you cast this ability against a wall, you won't do that little backdash. So you gain a little more effective distance. And then the R is, I think, again, like just a incredibly huge part of her kit. She's not ult reliant, but she is so much stronger with her ult. So it's two parts. You have the Monohoshi Zao, which is just basically a buff state where you get increased damage and you get increased range. And then you also have Subame Gaishi, which is a recast, which does a lot of damage. And then if you hit the center on a certain threshold, you can do an execute and it'll just immediately wipe out the target. And then for the passive, it was what I was explaining to you, where some of her attacks, all of her attack speed gets converted to AP because she has a converted AS. So any bonus attack speed can be uh, resulting in her AP scaling, and she has fantastic AP scaling, so she'll be doing more damage. And then also, as you weave autos, so this is where I was drawing a similarity to Camillo, is if you weave autos between your abilities, you actually reduce your abilities cooldowns. So it's really important when you're doing your combos to actually sneak into auto. You don't want to directly go EQ. You want to go E auto Q. You want to go auto E auto Q auto or auto R auto E. Like I don't know if that makes sense, but making sure between your casts that you're always getting an auto off to reduce your cooldowns.
I see. Awesome. Well, is there anything else you wanted to highlight in here before we get into the practice tool?
Absolutely. I think one thing that is really, again, I'm going to just reiterate because I think it's really a deceptive thing for new players is do not hyperfixate on the W3. There are other good uses for your Iaido strike. And the other thing is, and you're going to see this on my build recommendation, I recommend maxing W. I don't recommend this actually if you're starting out with Hisui. Go Qmax because then you have a little more uptime in case you miss abilities and it gives you a little more freedom to make mistakes. That's also why I would recommend Bitter Retribution to new players. Vampiric has a higher ceiling, but there's also a lot more risk and execution barrier. I think learning on Bitter Retribution, so you have that safety net, and also going for Qmax gives you a little more safety to mess up on the character. because it can be really punishing actually on Hisui to be caught on bad ability rotations.
Makes a lot of sense. Awesome. Well, I think we can get into the practice tool now. So this is gonna be the fun part. We're just gonna, run through the build here, run through the route. You could point out anything that anyone needs to make aware of, like, when you want to pick up certain things like rocks or sticks, leather, all that fun stuff. And then we'll get to the exciting part at the very end.
Absolutely. So obviously, like any other character in Eternal Return, build efficiency matters. I think the only thing I would make sure to draw attention to is Chapel is an incredibly contested zone with the current meta. So
Mhm.
if you see a lot of people going Chapel, deviate your route a little bit and start Chapel, because otherwise you might end up in a situation where the distributions you have access to from warehouse are going to be contested, and that can be a little difficult. So making sure that you're able to get all the loot you need is really important. So if these chickens here are uncontested, from other people starting warehouse, just kill the chickens. You can start Q or E. The chickens fast. It doesn't really matter.
These are always the good luck chickens. That's what I call them.
Absolutely, and you can also get your branches here. You're gonna have a little bit of inventory clutter, but you're able to craft the military suit immediately, so you won't be. I usually just pop a water because it's this character doesn't have SP costs. That's something I kind of forgot to mention. So you actually don't really need SP drinks as severely.
Mhm.
It's important just to make sure you have all your items while you're getting the build online.
It is a good thing to know. No SP food having to be made is huge.
Yeah, and obviously, whenever you're looting, just make sure to use your white lilies, your E's, just to traverse the map as fast as possible. Make sure to max your passive first. I'm going to be demonstrating Qmax during the Pro-Fessors just because I think it's more accessible for new players.
Awesome. And is there any characters that you run into in school that are a issue, or is it pretty easygoing?
During school, I think I didn't pick up a hammer, but my bad. But I think there's not really. You might run into 80, like rather marksman characters, that might be or mage characters that are running an archery route. You can actually fight them. I think you're acceptably strong on once you hit school, so you shouldn't worry too much as long as you get the Monohoshi Zalcraft. You can farm school from this point. You can also just walk up and start farming the avenue, or sorry, the fire station into police station route, and then you can also just elect to group with your team, look for early fights. You can also, I'll just do a demonstration of the 3-stack W here. It's a huge AoE and you're untargetable the whole time. So it's really, really big. Is there anything else I'd like to mention? Also, people, this is a mistake I see a lot of Hisui players do when they're playing, starting out with the character. They overuse their parry when getting combos because you can actually get your W stacks from your parry. Don't do that. It's better to use your R2 actually. So you want to start the fight with right, and then you can go. Let me actually get a dummy for you, unless there's something else you want me to hit instead. But you
Oh,
can
no, no, no,
E,
that makes easy.
Q, auto, and then R2, and then you can get your W3. It's a lot better. Let me remove the cooldowns again. It's a lot better than doing this because it removes a lot of your safety net. Which some people will be doing this. They'll go into the D. Oh wait, sorry. Oh wait, I don't even have my. Oh wait, I don't have my master for the D skill. My bad, my bad. Hold on. Sorry about that. A little hectic with also playing and talking at the same time. But so yeah, so I see a lot of people do this. Hold up, and then they'll just DN right randomly. That's kind of like I think it's really inefficient because your parry is such a useful tool. I'd rather you just use your R2 to get to your W3 because it still does a lot of damage. Don't over prioritize the execute. It's more important to focus on actually having your parry for if you need it in between your W3 or any of your downtimes. So, is it time for me to go over the combos maybe for the players
Yeah,
or
let's run through the skills here quick one more time just so people kind of like a visual of what they look like, and then yeah, we can do the combos for sure.
absolutely. So we'll start off with Rengeki, right? So her Q,
Yeah.
little AOE, and there's a second slash that slows, right? And then I'll go through all individual. So here is W1, so that's clear cut. That does max health damage and then also gives you a shield. And then if you stack a little bit, you get flash cut, which is a dash that also will get behind the first target hit and knock them up. This is really good for backline access. And then this is the one everybody knows is like the highlight of Hisui's kit. You have Nichiren cut, which is the big heal and the AoE damage and an untargetability. This is really good for turning fights. Keep in mind, I think this is something that people don't know about maybe, is that if you hit a shield, you actually don't heal. So sometimes against comps like that might have a Lenny or a Charlotte or a lot of maybe characters that have shields in their kit, like Camillo or any other bruiser that or tank that has shields, you actually might not want to prioritize or give that much priority to your W3. And then I'm going to give you the little tech. So if you E against a wall, you don't do the backdash and you'll get more effective distance. A little hidden OP tech. I think that people know about that, but maybe some of our viewers don't.
Awesome. And then before we go to the combos here, do you want to hide the little like stats thing of the dummy? Do you know what I'm talking about? Where you can
Oh
like
yeah, yeah,
change and
absolutely.
stuff?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Here
there
we
we
go.
go. There we go. Full visual. It's so pretty. Yeah, but so continue. Any yeah, so you talked about how like she has different W's obviously, so there's probably different instances to use them and whatnot. So we can go through all of that here.
So let's also while sorry while I'm at it, I'm gonna teach you another little really important thing to do with Hisui. This
Mhm.
works with a lot of characters with stacks, pre-stacking. So if you can, right, you're not always gonna have the liberty to, but if there's an animal nearby, just hit it with your Q or something, because and then auto it, right? Get the reduced cooldown, and then enter the fight. Because now look at this, I can pop R, and I can W3 immediately, right? I don't actually have to use my R2, and I can save my R2 for later in the fight, maybe for my second rotation, right? So it's important if you can get the opportunity to look for maybe the ability to pre-stack before a fight. Just use your Q. Don't commit your E. Your E is really important. Don't waste your E. Just keep your Q. And then also you can auto the animal to reduce your cooldowns. It's pretty important to identify when you can do that. You're not always going to have the liberty to, but if you're not in a rush to start the fight, just maybe managing like one stack of your EIDO strike is pretty important. But you can also continue to strike, right? And now I just have EW3, right?
Awesome. All right. Is there anything else? Do you want to do it one more time for the fans so they see it? We get, good visual before we go on in here.
For sure, for sure. So we have again our Q. So you want to make sure when I don't know if screen share is showing my cursor. Keep your cursor on the target, even though it's AOE. That second hit matters for the slow. Then obviously, E has a little backdash, right? When you get on the target, but if you dash against a wall, like I showed before, you won't have that backstep, and you'll get a little more effective distance. It's a micro optimization. Sometimes it matters. It really doesn't. I would not like always position yourself against a wall because that's just impractical in fights. But making sure that you can apply it when able to is still really acceptable. It's also good if you're looking to turn, right? Maybe you're getting chased down, you turn W3 or W, whatever W's you have, right? W1, or you can W2, backline, hit the backline, right? A lot of different approaches to the fight.
Awesome. Is there anything else you wanted to highlight before we get into the fun part here?
I guess I can run through the combos real quick for you. So
Okay.
your base combo, okay, no matter what, never ever start a fight without your R up. I don't care if you think the cooldown's important. Just always approach the fight with the E R up, and then you can just E, auto, Q, auto, and then you can R2 and then W. So I was talking about why I think it's bad to use your D skill for this combo because you could technically do this, and then you also get your W3. But then while you're exposed or out of your W3, they can CC you. So if you do this combo instead, right? Oh wait, I'm trash. Wait, hold up. If you do this combo instead, right? E auto, and then R2, and then W3. Then if in case there's any threat, you can parry out and regroup with your team or look to continue the fight. It just gives you more options and more safety. Yes, there is an execute on your R2. I think as you play against better players, they're not going to queue that window as much. So just looking for burst damage is actually an acceptable excuse. There are going to be times where actually it is okay. By the way, I'm not saying again. It's you got to use your own discretion, and as you play the character more, you'll get this. Sometimes it is actually fine to engage with this though, because you might just bait cooldowns immediately, right? But always start your fight with the R, and then E auto Q auto, and then you can decision make on the R2 or the D skill depending on the situation. And then also, it's perfectly fine to do this too. You don't always actually have to go for the W3. Sometimes you might want to EQ auto the front line and then W2 the back line, right? And that's a lot of threat too, because now you're on top of them. You maybe interrupted their damage with the knockup, and you can buy time. And then this is another time where having your parry up is really good, because if you're in the back line, buy some time on the cooldowns and then look to maybe kill him, and isolate that target.
Awesome. Well, is that all you have for us here before we get on to our games for the evening?
Yeah, I think that's about it. If chat has any questions, I feel like this character actually is pretty complex and has a pretty high skill ceiling. So I wanted to really go over all the things that I think are important to know before learning the character, but don't get overwhelmed. Sometimes it's really acceptable to just pressure buttons. Sometimes you just go crazy. This character is really hard to keep track of in fights by the enemies. So sometimes you'll just make them busy enough where you'll just get away with some crazy stuff.
Awesome. Well, let's this is the interesting part now. So before, as you guys heard in the beginning, we used to do customs, but we're changing it up a little bit here. We're just gonna run a couple norms games here to kind of showcase the character. And this actually be the first time I'm gonna join here with Kaz today, and then we're gonna actually have another caster join in as our third as well to fill our party. So we're hoping we can showcase the character here for a little bit for you guys and have a little bit of fun here. I will get our lovely contestants here. Hopefully the other one is here. I did see him in the chat.
Look at
All
that
right, there we
jumpy
go.
innate loadout,
Yeah.
by the way. This looks so good.
Yeah, so look at us. We are all very pretty here. And yeah, as everyone knows, ask questions as we go here. I will try to get to them as we can here. I do see a couple actually. Someone asked if you want to avoid using W1 as much as possible.
No. So I want to stress this. Your W is a toolkit, right? You need, as you play the character more, you'll be able to assess what is actually your best button for the timing. But all W's have their uses. W1 is really good for hitting frontline, and you're not always going to get backline access. So don't try to force an issue that isn't there, because you are still somebody who can get locked down pretty easily with CC. So if you just need to hit the front line, and your W1 is excellent for that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, it's for sure. So so it said, so Ian, mess up my buttons, panic, die, and blame my team. I don't think that's what we want at all. We never blame our team. And don't panic. It's okay. You got a lot of escape tools. That is what I have learned.
Yeah, I think one of the important things is if you're in a weird situation, Hisui's a little privileged, right? Some of us Camillo players might not have experience where you're in the middle of it and then you have a D skill to get you out of bad situations. But parry is an insane tool. So that's why I recommend not using it for stacks, because it gives you that time to maybe take a second on the fight, reassess it, make sure you're not getting targeted down or getting locked down by CC or a lot of damage, and then readdress the fight.
I do have some questions here about Totem. I'm not sure if you played around with Totem much, but someone did ask, is there any weird timings you have to do if you R2 and then use Totem?
So I haven't actually really used Totem because, again, I think I mentioned I don't think it really suits Hisui's identity.
Yeah.
I would assume that you might actually there's a lot of characters that can use an animation and then go into Totem. So maybe Hisui similar. I'd actually need chat to test that for me. um, because I don't actually have the answer. Now, R2ing Totem is actually pretty easy. You just wait. So you should just if you played enough, you should have that internal timer of Totem in your head, not like 2 seconds, and then you just R2 it, and any instance of damage during that will do the execute proc. So you actually don't have to worry about nailing it exactly. Just make sure you're getting the center.
Okay. Yeah, because after that, they actually asked, actually, is R2 Totem even worth it right now? So we kind of talked about that a little bit. I mean, it doesn't really seem like you need it per se, since
Yeah,
you have parry and all your other tools.
it's a theory of like opportunity cost, right? I just think Falso is just that much more efficient.
Mm-hmm.
But again, if it helps you learn the character, try it out. I just don't want players to like rely on Totem as a crutch as they get better at the character, right? You want to be
Yep,
able to play the character without these tools and have the better tools available to you.
for sure. Well, while we're running through here, I'll ask some more questions that I know of. If you are playing Hisui, what kind of team comp is beneficial for her? Like, what makes her shine the best?
I mean, obviously, any supportive characters. I mean, we kind of have like the put all the chips in the Kaz cross bag, which might not be the best idea, but uh, teams like this are obviously excellent. You know, Alenia Charlotte helping you dive, but honestly, any tank with lockdown potential is great. If you have an Alonzo, an 11, anybody that just helps you, you don't want to be the first in. Usually, it's much better to play follow up like any other melee carry. You don't really want to be the first in because then you're using a lot of your cooldowns that are damage to just get on top of targets, and that just feels pretty bad.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, for sure. Makes a lot of sense. So, like, what is the recipe for success? Is it just having like another? I mean, I guess do you always want another support, or is it that you just want a melee and then like some kind of backline carry?
Yeah, yeah, absolutely acceptable. I don't think you need to be the sole carry of a comp. I think honestly, Hisui does better when she's able to like finish off targets. She can.
Mm-hmm.
All right. This character's ludicrous. Like her ability to 1v3 is really strong. This character's really flashy, but you don't need to do that, right? And I think it's important to identify what windows, unless you're planning on maining this character, where Hisui is good. This is a comp where Hisui is definitely one of the better picks because you want a melee carry in a comp like this. You actually don't really want ADC.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you can, but you can get a lot of value from Lenny if you're able to actually like dive the targets she's isolating or dive with Estelle and things like that. Obviously, an ADC or marksman character does fine with it, but like Hisui Camilo do amazing with these kinds of comps.
For sure. Is there any scary matchups for the character?
Any character with a lot of lockdown. A lot of also, if you're just getting outranged and you're not even able to hit a target, it's pretty hard. All right, we're gonna look for our first fight here, and let's see if I can maybe get some damage off and look to okay, not being able to get my W2 off yet. Yeah.
I will go. I'm trying to get you guys in.
All right.
Oh, there you go.
That's unfortunate, actually. So I actually want that's an instance where you actually don't want your W3, right? My W2 would have been a little more beneficial. It's a little hard for me to like fight and talk at the same time sometimes. So if you see me mess up, that's why. But actually, there it would have been better for me to not stack all the way and get the W2 to dive the Razi. But my beautiful King Shubi Senpai was able to secure the kill anyways for us.
Actually, this is something I don't know. Can you W3 or can you emote during W3? We're just gonna have to wait because there's a lot going on here.
That's a lot of buttons to me press, but I'll try.
Like, I don't actually know if you can. We'll have to see as we get chased by the cat. Oh, I'm being hit around.
And this is an example of flash cut having a lot of use. I'm on our cooldown, so it's a little hard for me right now. But look at the strength of the W3 there, just giving me a lot of safety. And then again, W2 value. What a insane interrupt from Shubi, actually. And we're just gonna try to run over this fight. I just have so much support from my team that I'm able to do this. Well, I have an Estelle and a Lenny. Usually you're not able to get away with like that kind of unethical activity. There's also the benefit of Bit of Retribution, right? Is I have a lot of damage reduction. If I was on Vamp, there might have been times where I could have been bursted down.
That is a good point. Now, at this point, I mean, usually we should be at an objective. Is there anything that you like to prioritize here?
Honestly, it depends on the team composition, but I think supporting your team is really important. Giving also not being too greedy with items because you're usually relying on a force core call in anyways. But yeah, tree would be best because then you can slam blue flame, and blue flame is probably your best item. But we'll just farm along this route. I'm actually gonna switch off push to talk for now so I can, because it's actually so hard to team fight while also holding the push to talk the whole time. So I apologize if the chat can hear my keyboard a little bit, but you'll hear the APM required to play this character. She's definitely a harder character than some of the other ones maybe we've seen recently.
Yeah, for sure. Someone did ask if we could change on this side where it says your stats, where we can see like the augment value.
Oh, for sure. Let me do that.
Yeah. Get a little sneak peek. Unfortunately, no tree for us, but that is a-okay. Yeah, it's been a while since we've done a Professors. I think the last one I did, I had to talk about battle zones, but as everyone knows now, they're no longer here. So it's something we don't really have to talk about anymore.
So this is actually okay. So we were talking about nightmare matchups. I hate fighting Vanya as a melee, but we'll see if we can get it off. Fantastic knockup from the goat Lucy Purr, and we're gonna look for an R2 immediately out of that, and then we're gonna pop our false oath. We're gonna back up a little bit. Look to re-engage maybe in a second. Play with my Lenny a little bit. You can always decide to not immediately engage on a fight. Great knockup again from Lucy Purr, the goat. And then we're gonna wait for we're gonna be able to go for W3 here. We're gonna Ian. Look for actually, yeah, I can go for W3 in a second. All right, yeah, this is probably the best timing. Sometimes they can walk out of it though, so it might be better to go for a different W variation, but Yeah, this comp makes it very easy to play Hisui. Like it's very easy to shine when you have all these characters that are just built to support you. Often when you're playing with a carry, like another carry, maybe like a backliner, you're gonna be a lot more tactical with your decision making. Here, like I have my beautiful co-casters that are just allowing me to shine, so I'm allowed to play a lot more silly.
So someone asked how will my play differ if my teammates don't pick two supports for me?
Yeah, so again, you need to be a little more precise with your decision making. You see that I'm just taking every fight because my team is enabling me, but you usually want to play as a second in, right? So play off your tanks or play off the damage from your backliners if you're playing with a backliner. I would not recommend picking Hisui as a solo frontliner. You're just not gonna have a great time. The character doesn't facilitate well as being the only character to go in. It's really hard, and you end up playing using a lot of your abilities for like tank utility instead of for damage, which is just not her job, right? Her job is to do damage.
We will make sure you do damage. Oh, it looks like someone actually did this
Yeah, it looks like a
here.
Martina here. Yeah, yep, yep, yep. Oh my superstar Lucy Per, and there you're seeing the value of the W2. I'm gonna sack off
Oh,
the W2, pop my false oath, and we can look for a wipe here actually. Oh,
no.
oh, wait, I might be in a different dimension.
But
The Arda was able to get them out. You want to try to deny the blast cones as much as possible because you're a melee, so you're not gonna be able to follow up as much. Shuvi Senpai is on the chase though. Okay, okay. Yeah,
oh.
Nimrod's gate. GG. Oh wait, got the. Oh no, never mind. Did not
Oh.
get the execution off. I barely didn't get the execute off. I think like maybe one more hit of it, and I would have been able to get the execute off.
Oh, for your tax skill, is there ever a time that you have to prioritize that before your transitions, or?
I think it's a luxury upgrade. It is really good, but your items, like just getting more items, is always going to be more beneficial
It's
in
good
my
to know.
opinion. Unless your, I feel unless your tax skill provides team utility, usually I'd recommend going your tech as your last upgrade.
Okay. Yeah, I know in the past, false stealth is pretty important, so.
That's actually a good question for maybe some of the more advanced Hisui pilots. Like a lot of my conversations have been with Jignet Jorgensen, who's currently the highest ranked Hisui, as far recently as I've checked. But so we got a pretty big fight going out here. Just looking to maybe stack up a W2 here, isolate the back line, just get a clear cut off for damage. Gonna dive the Arda. Hopefully my teammates are okay. I have R up in a second, so I'm gonna look for a
We may
turn.
not be okay.
Okay. So,
We
if I was in solo queue and not creating content for you guys, I would definitely run away. There was a voice in my head that told me to go in though, because we're creating content. But the best way obviously is to run away. But you have so I had my R up. So there's actually windows where you can turn that fight, especially if you're able to get your W3 off. I got some haters though.
Uh-oh.
I'm out of here. That's all good. Oh, maybe not actually. Oh wait, I might be dead. Oh no. Oh, it's so unfortunate. I think Shibi was about to respawn. That's a good try. It was a good try.
It's okay. You know, not everyone can go first. That is what we're here to
That's why I'm
do.
on the casting desk.
My professor! But I mean, hey, that showcases that, you have some good escape potential, but not really the best unless you have animals.
Oh, I would agree 100%. If you can't get your W2, this character's escaping is like pretty limited. I just
Mhm.
if I was able to maybe parry the Rozzy Q and deny the dash forward, maybe I can look for an ability to get out, but without it, it's gonna be really hard.
Yeah, no, for sure.
I'll probably do some vamp gameplay too, so you guys can see the difference.
Yeah, I think we're doing 2 to 3 here. So, yep, there we go. Once everyone's back in, I can hit the button and then we can go back in here. So, yeah, we had the double support going on. Unfortunately, I kind of got one shot by Rousey. That wasn't very fun, but it happens.
Yeah, sometimes you could actually see. What's important is also like seeing, like identifying your mistakes as a player, right? So there, I should have actually probably just been hitting the front line because my team doesn't have enough damage, right? So if I just dive the back line and exclusively hyper focus on the squishy targets, and I'm not actually supporting my team needs me
Mhm.
to do damage there in that situation, right? So if I'm not actually hitting the threats that are targeting them, then I'm kind of worthless. Like I didn't actually kill the Arda because Arda has a lot of tools to keep me off him. So it would have been better actually for me to hit the Razi or hit I think it was the Martina.
Mhm.
Uh just the direct threats to my teammates. Being and I think this is important. This is a not just like professor. This is somebody who climbs, and I play the ladder. You can't always look at team fights outside of yourself, right? You have to take responsibility for your own mistakes, and that's how you're gonna get better at this character too, because she has a lot of things going on.
Mhm. No, for sure. There is a lot going on. I tried her out a little bit on release, and I definitely should have read a little bit more and probably watched the Lumipedia a couple more times because I jumped in and I was like, "What am I witnessing?"
Yeah, there's a lot of button clutter with this character.
But hey, that's what makes the fun of it.
Yeah, for sure. I think this character is just like she's just fun. She's just cool. She does a lot of things. She's a really fun. I think she's probably my favorite character they've released recently outside of Yumin. Obviously,
Mhm.
Yumin, if you don't know, is my main at the moment, but I really do enjoy Hisui quite a bit. The only thing I didn't want to do was hit the ladder after going. So I went on vacation a little bit after Hisui released, so I didn't want to hit the ladder with only norms under my belt and just immediately start terrorizing my solo queue teammates with a character I haven't played in a while. But you might actually see me bust up the Hisui on ladder every now and then.
Yeah. As always, if anyone has questions or anything, feel free to ask any questions at all. Obviously, we're on Hisui's professor, so if you can relate it to her, you can. But even if there's anything else, even like if you're a newer player and you just have questions about the game that any of us can answer, we could do that as well. It's just a learning opportunity for everyone here as we get into game 2. Oh my god, we're both starting in the same zone. That's crazy.
So just as a reminder to chat, I was doing Bitter Retribution last game, and this game I'm gonna be doing Vampiric. So I was playing a lot of Bitter Retribution when I was learning the character because I think being able to have that damage reduction saves you in a lot of times where you're gonna mess up your ability rotations, and I'm a noob. So I wanted to give myself the window to mess up and have that safety. But as you get better at the character, Vampiric will have a higher ceiling. It just depends on comp and what your confidence on the character is. There's a lot of reasons to go either or, but the ceiling is definitely with Vampiric.
Yeah, makes a lot of sense. A lot of different options you can use here, which is always nice. You're not really locked into one.
Yeah, I think it's really nice to have options. I don't think the build deviates much. You should just go with this build I'm showing you guys right now. Like it's just the best
Mhm.
one. But I think outside of that, there you can go different chest piece, maybe different headpiece. I like the HP from Turnout Coat. There's probably different options, but I think because you're in melee, having at least one HP slot is pretty nice. At least on base HP levels. Once you scale, obviously not having an HP slot is acceptable because melees have higher base HP scalings in turn return because they need that. It would be pretty bad if they were as squishy as marksman while
Yeah,
also being short range.
that is something I noticed. She does seem pretty squishy
Yeah, for
uh
sure.
in the early parts of the game. Uh-oh.
Okay. We got some Hisui players. And we're actually just trading the same buttons, so that's pretty funny. I'm not
Yeah,
on full build though, so it's pretty hard for me to actually float into it.
it's okay.
Okay.
I'm
Might be a viewer or something. I don't know. Doing the I gotta say also, as a side note, Hisui has probably my favorite dance in the game.
Oh, there we go.
Right here. Right here. This is perfect.
She does have a pretty good dance. And her rest animation is actually really good.
Yeah, the ramen.
Punching. Yeah.
Yeah. Hold up for
It's
chat.
there you go. It's so loud too.
Or wait, is it chips? It might be
It's
chips, it's
chips.
chips, yeah.
I was like, if your ramen sounds like that, I might be concerned.
Honestly, because my computer is not the best. I actually have to have really low graphics settings, so I actually never noticed those chips. I thought it was from.
Oh wow. I just thought you would have known because it was munching so loud.
Honest, maybe I just never paid attention to rest. I'm just always so active. I never get the opportunity to rest. So
For sure.
when you're looking for fights all the time.
This was highlighted earlier, but we could talk about it again. Someone asked, is Hisui a character that needs to craft drinks for fights?
Nope, you have no SP costs, so don't worry about that.
Awesome.
You will just catch your abilities as you can and as you deem fit. You don't have to worry about resource management, which is really nice outside of your EIDO stacks, obviously.
Awesome. That's a good thing to note for people. I know it would be really hard to have it for me to break. I'm just like, I just make SP food all the time just out of habit, even on characters that I don't need it. And then all of a sudden I'm running around with like 2 stacks for no reason.
I am a notorious fried chicken caller, so I'm not the best at cooking.
You gotta do what you gotta do, you know?
Absolutely. So this time we're actually going to contest an objective. The tree... Okay, so I'm going to just explain this to you guys. Do not actually greed your blue flames. It's not... It's good, but it's not that good. Like, would I rather have blue flames or give my Charlotte, like, something... Like, I don't think this might be a different Charlotte build than usual, but Elf Dress on Charlotte is insane value. Okay. I didn't know if you were busting out some secret tech for the content, but yeah, Elf Dress is way better than blue flames. Don't have an ego. Give it to your teammates. Oh my
gosh.
The twins rush from Shuvi Senpai. What a demon.
He might be the GOAT.
This is why he's off the casting desk right now. I think I did accidentally call in something, by the way. Oops.
He might be the
GOAT. Yeah, don't be greedy. Share items with your teammates. I promise you it's better than...
I think Shuvi wants it. He didn't give me emote. Minus 15! Oh yeah, because he called in something. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah. I'm so bad about that. We can give it to Shuvi for Levitate if he wants it.
Yeah, he wants it for Levitate. He can have it. I will call
so Shuvi is not humble, okay? Let me teach you chat. Elf Dress is the best transition, alright? Forget your items. Okay, would I rather give myself some extra AP and Smolder, or would I rather give 2 people extra AP and attack speed? All right, let's some quick math for chat. 2 is better than 1.
That is true.
Shuvi's emoting at me because he knows.
He's just listening. He's listening in on you. You gotta be careful what you say.
Yeah, that guy's greedy. He can hear me. Share with your Charlotte. Because they end up buying your stuff anyways. Just give them the Elf Dress so they get your transitions earlier.
That is true. All right, so we're in the middle part of the game here. We are looking for people.
And then I can use my W2 to catch her out here. Yep. And then I'll just pop my R2 so she dies. Sometimes you just want to pop your abilities so you don't have to waste your time chasing people. Looks like we have people on the wolves here.
Okay.
Also, because my first call-in is a 4-score, obviously that minus 15 I took was pretty disastrous because you want your tempo for another fight, but it is unfortunate. Another huge twins rush from the GOAT. All right, she used her ultimate to get away, but we have the ability to chase for sure. The emotes of mercy, but unfortunately the casters show no mercy tonight. Okay, maybe we do show mercy. I don't want to wait, like some cost fallacy or something like that. We can look for probably just a cemetery contest here, the mithril. Oh wait, target spotted.
Especially as you catch up to this. There are a lot of people around too, but I mean, if you want to try, I'm here.
And that's why you want to stack off animals, right? It gave me the W2. Yeah, and I have another W2 to chase. Dodge out on the ultimate, very intentionally, by the way, very, very intentionally. Gonna get another W2 off, and I'm gonna use NATO, and she's just cannot get away from me. We have another team approaching us though. I'm a little weak, but maybe it's a limit test angle. They're a little stronger than us. We'll have to see. Maybe my GOAT, Shuvi Senpai can set me up because I don't have my Aoya yet. We'll just have to see what they decide to do.
Oh, it's Levi. I haven't seen him for a while.
Levi is a fantastic Eternal Return content creator on YouTube. Check them out. Oh, big combo! Didn't pop my arm because I'm a bad player. And now we just fight in the Charlotte. Oh, I'm silenced for 3 years. That's unfortunate. Gotta dash out a little bit. Oh, the silence is so rough. Yeah, TM might actually be a little bit of a hard matchup, but we got the mithril, so we're chilling. It's just hard to, if you're not able to keep your W rotation up, it can be pretty frustrating. So definitely having that silence can be a little bit annoying. I don't know if Shuvi gets out here. He might get collapsed on a little bit from the cemetery wrap. He has a white lily to play with, though. He should be okay. Let's see. How much do they hate their professors?
Probably not.
Okay, they love us. They love us. They love us. All right. Always, again, I don't know how much of chat like plays this game very frequently, but it's always helpful if you have a respawn, just to ping what's available to your team. Information is key, and that day scan is free information for your team. I think both Shuvi and I are actually going to look for an Aoyai call now, so I'm going to do a little call with Charlotte emote. Communicate.
Yeah, a little tip for everyone. Emotes are so important.
Yeah.
You can communicate a lot.
Yeah, like give me.
They give me, yeah.
I use this one a lot when I receive 4 score.
I do see give me a lot. I see give me, I see no.
Oh yeah, I have that one. This one is done by beautiful artist Taniaki, so I have a little human wheel.
Very important.
Very important. Please support our emotes. These are fantastic.
All right, we have a tree.
Yeah, and we're just gonna contest it because we didn't see anybody in stream. And look how strong Shuvi is. So we can play with a little bit of confidence. This double melee core. Gonna try to look for something here. Okay. They parried through my W2, which means I've got denied the healing here. Actually, huge engage from Shuvi though. Okay. I'm probably dead here. Unlucky. We won 1-for-1, but probably best just to boom here to deny the. Oh, the Hisui wants to smoke though, and now they don't.
It happens. It's okay. We should have enough.
I think Shuvi actually has this. Like, using the W2 to get out was actually pretty good by them. But yeah, no, that was a very ill-advised fight. You're strong, but you're not that strong on Hisui. That's the important thing to keep in mind. And honestly, this is gonna be a Shuvi Senpai masterclass. He might need to be the next professor.
Okay, all right, no, I got
Care
this.
for the self-res, yeah. Care for the self-res on the
No,
Hisui too.
I know, it's...
Yeah, the Hisui might be self-resing here. Oh no, it looks like she got killed.
It's okay. I believe in my goat Shuvi, and I will go res you, and now we are all back.
Yeah, so that's really important to note. If you don't get the damage with your W3, like I did in that fight, because the other Hisui parried it, I got denied the heal, which meant I had to play a lot slower in the fight and kite back quite a bit. Hashtag ad.
Not good.
But again, try to pre-stack off animals if you can. We're probably gonna have a contest for this 4 score. I don't assume we're gonna get it for free. But we'll just have to see.
But what if?
But what if? What if fortune smile? What is it? Fortune favors the bold. What's the saying?
I think so.
So you know, we'll be very bold because we got a very strong Debbie and Marlene to carry us through.
I believe. So is this an auto arms angle then for you?
Yeah, absolutely. If you can get the auto arms, it's just so insane. Defense, tenacity. I do think Misshield is a suitable replacement, but auto arms is definitely higher favor. It's just expensive, so I usually don't end up going it, but if you can get it, it is quite insane. Also, Hisui has some great lines in English.
Someone said, so basically Hisui equals high skill, Shuvi equals high skill, so that means Shuvi is, oh my god, Shuvi is going in actually.
Oh, Shuvi's going crazy. We're gonna pop our R here, and then we're gonna pop R again here. Parry coming out. I'm gonna look to just W2 in. I'm gonna pressure off this Zahir actually, probably, my team. But I'm getting, this is a hard character to dive, so back out, come back to my team. Oh wait, oh my team's down, oh god. Oh, Shuvi's the goat though? I believe in Shuvi. Oh wait, actually maybe not. This video game's too hard.
Unfortunately, I got looped. So we got a little bit cooked. But it's okay.
So Shuvi equals Hisui. Yeah, no.
Holy moly.
That masterclass. Yeah, it's so hard if you don't get the stacks off to stay on top of squishy targets. And because I miss my Qs because I'm a very bad player, I was not able to stick on top of them.
It's okay. It happens to the best of us. I cursed him. Oh no! I shouldn't have said anything. All right. It's okay. We'll run through one more here.
Yeah, one more for the chat.
This is the one. You know,
this is the one.
You cannot be put in the Hall of Shame.
Yeah, I cannot be the only professor and I'll win a game.
Yeah, we cannot let that happen here. Again, yeah, any questions for anyone or for any of us, let us know here. We kind of read through like good comps, bad comps. I mean, we said, you don't want to be the only frontliner, which as you can see, we're trying not to do that to you. So we are being very kind. Um, Characters you don't like. I think we were going to try to highlight that, but I don't remember if we ever got around to it.
All right, so honestly, there's been a lot of nightmare matchups for me on my screen lately, but Zahir's pretty like you saw how hard it was for me to get on top of Zahir because if they're spacing you out enough where you're not getting your stacks, you don't have anything. Like you really want your W2 to get stick on squishy targets, or you want your W3 to have some iframes to get through it. W1 is not good against ranged unless you like can finish them off. Like you can do E auto W1 sometimes, but it's really not that great. Vanya is rough. You can outbox a lot of melee characters. You honestly you want people in your face. If they're in your face, you're probably winning, and if they're out of your face, you're losing. So if they can outrange you, or they can prevent you from getting on top of them in the first place, it's not a lot of fun.
Mm-hmm.
Or if they're like characters that have a lot of iframes, so they can iframe through your W3 or Nichi Rinka is the ability name. I'm gonna call it W3 because I think it's easier for reviewers. But yeah, it's important to make sure that you're not getting super kited and things like that, or to have access to your entire kit. There's a lot of windows that you have, but you also have to hit your abilities to do so. So any character that can deny that is pretty hard.
Mm-hmm. Looks like someone said they already got a win thanks to you and the stream here today. So
Well,
me
somebody's got to
too.
win at least. That's really good. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you
Somebody's
for
got to
validating
win.
me. At least somebody has a win.
No,
So in a
this is
comp like this, by the way, oh, sorry for cutting you off, Lucy.
no, you're good.
This would be a window I'd look for bitter retribution because I don't really need to be the solo damage carry, and I'd rather just be able to stick to the fight with Lucy per here, with the Mai, right? And since I have a reliable ranged damage dealer, it's less about me and it's more about my ability to play with my team.
Mm-hmm.
I'm super glad to see that some people are in chat are actually benefiting from the tips. Hisui's hard. Hisui's really hard. So don't get discouraged if you lose games like I am. This character takes a lot of skill, and I'm a little rusty on her. I was actually warming up quite a bit in preparation for this, and I became a bit of a Norms terrorist. I think there's somebody who came into an ERM chat and was like, Cast Cross Randy down in Norms today. And that's why.
You got to warm up somehow.
But also, I would like to credit again. I was talking, bouncing off ideas with Jignet Jorgensen for this presentation. So definitely, I don't know if they have socials, but definitely at least keep an eye on their doc because they are a fantastic pilot of the character.
Yeah, they're definitely available on like Discord and everything too. If you
Super friendly. I think again, I would recommend maybe talking to them. They're pretty approachable on Discord. They're in the character hub server. If you're in that, that's a great resource for finding out about characters. And our lovely Lucy Purr is one of the people who help run that server. So
I try. It's like my other job. It's like my night job.
I also think there is another person who made a YouTube guide on Hisui. I like to try to support. So if you check the character hub, you might be able to see that as well. I am not the de facto head of Hisui. Do not assume that. I just know enough to maybe do a presentation for y'all. So definitely reach out to the community, engage with the Hisui OTPs because I know this character has been insanely popular. So you probably can get some great ideas on how to approach the character outside of one noob caster's approach to the character.
Nah, nobody is noob on the casting desk. We have to do so much.
Yeah, agreed. You know what? I will say at one point I was ranked 10 on, not on Hisui, but don't worry about that. That's a small damage.
No, I'm glad to hear that this segment still help people. We're trying to focus a little bit more on newer characters here as they release, because I mean, you can always watch so many videos and watch so much gameplay through like a video, but when you actually are able to do like a Q&A or get a little bit interactive with other people, it helps a little bit. So that's the point of this. And, giving you guys a little bit of content, saying hi, obviously, too. We like to communicate with the community when we can. So as always, I mean, if you guys have any, I'm actually gonna leave these leather for you, by the way.
Thank you, so kind of you.
Distracted. You know, if you guys have anything that could have any ideas or any thoughts that could help make this better, please reach out and let us know, because this is for you guys. So, you know, if there's anything that you think of, let me know. Someone did ask how the early fighting is on Hisui. Is it like good, bad? Do you need to scale? What are your thoughts?
I think it depends, right? So sometimes on Hisui, especially because you don't have a lot of base base scalings on your AS yet for like cooldowns, it can be a little clunky. But also if you're fighting with your team, she is really good at messing up the backline. So I wouldn't worry about it too much. Just play with confidence. Also, this is a character. Again, I'm gonna reiterate, this character is pretty hard. So limit test, you know, like if you're in well, maybe not in your rankings, like, you know, hit the norms, but like experiment, you know, lose some games but lose your games and be genuine with yourself about what you can do better. Maybe like record or watch the replays. We have a fantastic replay system, unlike some other games. So, you know, you gotta take advantage of that and look over your fights and be like, okay, what could I have done better here? Because this character is all about taking your time to learn it. There's a lot of options. Your W itself is a super loaded ability with like so many kind of like branches and trees of ability combos you can go. This character freestyles a lot. So being able to watch over your own gameplay and decide, oh, maybe I wasn't supposed to go for W3 here. Maybe I was supposed to W2 the back line. That's really important. And being genuine and try not to blame your team because often it's gonna be on you. This character has so much carry potential that it's a lot of the times actually your responsibility. And a lot of the fights are in your control.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I was flaming myself when I was going over some of these fights because there's so many things I could be doing better. It is a little hard, I'm not gonna lie to you guys, to talk and teach the character at the same time. But okay, this Daniel does not like me very much. So I'm gonna parry. Oh wait, oh I can't parry because I don't have parry up. Oopsies.
Oh, I see why.
But yeah, the execution or W2 into execution would be pretty strong. But it's important to, if you have like a parry or something like that on cooldown, or when I just didn't have enough mastery yet, to like parry a Daniel ult. You're a two-handed character, you have a lot of privilege with that, so take advantage of it. Also, Shuvi really wants this win, busting out the mains. Respect. The professor is getting professed, you know.
He said, "Oh, I need to lock in now."
Yeah, locked in the ranked main, I think, at the moment for him. He's also a pretty good demo. Don't sleep on the casters. Lucy's also a fantastic pilot, but she's being a sweetheart and playing utility characters for me. Usually, we got the masterclass Nadine though coming out on solo queue, and I'm a human one trick, filthy human one trick. So
There's nothing.
Used to play a lot of Camilla though.
Someone's gotta show off the new characters on the ladder.
Yeah, no, you've been super fun too. I hope you guys do actually keep an eye out for any content that's coming out from us. Obviously, we'll have more professors in the future, but if we have any other future guide content, that'd be really sick. So sub to YouTube, check out the Twitch, you know. I gotta do a little chilling, you know, sometimes every now and then. But it is important because we will have more stuff down the line for you.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, we'll highlight a little bit of that afterwards too. We'll give you guys a little bit of a rundown of the future on what it could look like here.
Hashtag
prep for the tree. Oh.
What makes her heal so much? I just saw that in chat. So her W3 has healing. That's like her third stack W has a lot of healing. And then also if you're running false ult, like, oh no! Not Najim! Our resident visitor to North American normals. Very tragic. But I think we just give this tree. So again, I'm telling you, don't be greedy. This tree is a lot better on my teammate. So I'm gonna give the tree to my teammate Shuvi Senpai to get the Blood Coke online. Blue Flame is okay, but it's not that good. Oh wait, I didn't drop it yet. My bad. Yoink. Gug. Thanks for the tree, buddy. Or I mean, not the tree, the shoes rather. And also we got the Courtier, or not the Courtier. Sorry. Season 5 talk. We get the David's Blood Cloak online because we have a Mai. So
yes.
That's even more reason. Again, like this character does well with transitions, but your transitions are pretty pricey, and Blue Flame is not the biggest one compared to Blood Coke. Consider what your team needs, in general, right? Not just on Hisui. Chuvy is our main damage dealer, so the Blood Cloak priority goes to them, and I had a Charlotte last time, so an Elf Dress is just insane too. So it's really important to consider what your teammates need.
We need everything. We are very greedy.
Oh, I'm greedy too, but
No.
sometimes you gotta be a team player. This tree I'm gonna take for myself though.
Yeah, you can have that one.
I will take that one. And I will just send the blue flame because it Witch's Grasp isn't like super necessary on this character, but it helps. It's mainly just the stats, right? You don't benefit from the SP regen, but the AP, attack speed, defense are all great stats. It's basically a direct upgrade to the base piece I had, right? The welding helmet. So
don't worry, Shubi, I didn't see that.
And now I'm just gonna call in 4-score for my Aoyai. I find a good 4-score timing because I didn't take a -15 or just waste my time not farming. So, well, and remember, chat, it's Aoyai, okay? Aoyai. This is Vietnamese. Aoyai. Now Ao Dai. All right. I see a lot of Ao Diers. That's bad. That's bad news bears, especially when we got our Vietnamese rep character Mai, who actually this was originally one of her signature items, which is I actually think a pretty cute nod to the culture.
For sure. So do you ever like to prioritize alpha, or do you just go for the box? What do you prefer?
That just depends on your team, right? I don't really need a myth on this build because I'm going auto arms, but if I want myth shield, then yeah, I would just go test the alpha. Otherwise, I can just go box. At this point, really, it's just auto arms, and then you can honestly save for the VF for Danslift. You don't actually really need to call in the meteorite for the blade boots because you'll eventually get them anyways. We can get that mithril to our lovely Shuvi. Get the I actually don't know the assault rifle off the top of my head. Caster, by the way. But that's definitely better than a myth shield on me.
The Valkyrie, I believe.
The Valkyrie, yes, that's what it's called. Indeed. I knew that. Thank you. That's why the ERCS production is going crazy while me and Shuvi. Actually, Shuvi is so good at knowing the ability names, though. Honestly, this is a little caster insight. Sometimes I don't know an ability name, and then I just hear Shuvi say it, and I'm like, okay, now the ability. GG.
What I used to do is I would just like hyper fixate on a character like every time I casted, and I would just that's how I'd like start to remember things. Oh, actually, before we continue, we might have a team fight.
Gonna pop the false oath. Look, does not look like we're getting much of a team fight, so I'm just gonna go back to the alpha while our beautiful Lucy Purr gets them off me. This time, because I just have it available, I'm actually just going to make the myth arm piece for myself and my shield. Usually I wouldn't do this, but it's a little efficient just to slam. I would recommend going auto arms instead of myth shield, but it just gets my build a little faster, right? Tempo is a lot in the turn, so. Again, also, I'm not the solo damage, so having a little extra HP and defense is really good.
Yeah, we love tempo. Look at we're so fast at our stuff this time. We see Lumi stop. There might be people afoot. Hello. People.
Yeah. Looks like a pretty easy fight for us, actually. If you just hit tab before you take your fights. We're so much stronger than them. This guy's just gonna go down immediately. Oh, not yet, actually. I lied. But now he's gonna go down immediately with the W2. We can probably win this fight, but I do have my nightmare matchup with Vanya. But it looks like it's a pretty easy fight for us. We can probably look for a wipe here. I'm gonna W2 onto the back line, the Vanya to keep the chase. Remember, just keep autoing to keep your uptimes. Auto between all your ability casts. It's gonna be kind of hard for me to chase this, but we'll try. Hisui's chase isn't great if you don't have animals. I think me and Lucy have made that pretty amply clear, but just in case you didn't know. And, you know, we love our player base, so we will not chase down anymore. Keep you in NA norms, guys. So I'm just going to hope that we get a meteorite eventually, and I'm just going to say for my Daneslift is just the only real upgrade, I think. Also, so just for chat, I'm just going to make myth boots, actually. I'm going to rely on Shubi for anti-heal here. Again, tempo is everything. I have another teammate that has anti-heal, so I'm not going to worry about it too much. And Myth Boots is an excellent upgrade. Slow resist, defense, attack speed. Like, just look at the stat line. This is insane. I'm on my way, team. We're getting active. Okay, I'm going to pop the false slow again. And then again, before you start the fight, pop your R. Parry. W3. And there was some Hisui things. We did some Hisui things for you guys. Use the parry for safety. You can use the W1 to secure the kill there. So there was a situation where Eing in and Wing like are pairing immediately was really good, and then it also gave me the stacks for my W3. So that was just like kind of a pristine Hisui fight in terms of like what I wanted to come out of it, and I had a lot of support from my engage tank of my to set me up. So
I'll be honest, I was sitting back and letting you do your thing and waiting to see if I had to R you out. I'm not gonna lie.
I had the confidence to do so because I have an exclusive to pull me out if I, might caster it a little bit instead of pro it, but we're scaling really well now. Like if you just look at my team's build, we're so strong. I'm just saving for that Dane's lift at this point. We're going to, I think we can just start giving items to Lucy maybe, and just contesting these objectives. Obviously, Force Core is pretty nice for like maybe a Hermes for Lucy. I don't know what's going on.
Oh.
Wait, that looks so funny. I guess I've never seen somebody, because usually I interrupt it. They just kind of zoom out.
It's actually really fast now. They go in the air. It's crazy.
Yeah, and honestly, we're in a great spot to win this game as long as I'm a, fantastic pilot and not a bad pilot. So hopefully we'll close out this Pro-Fessors with a win.
I believe. Oh wow, you guys are like full build.
Yeah, I'm just gonna give this to you.
Oh my glob.
You know you're sitting on some incredibly strong builds when the Mai is getting the Alpha or Mega Force Core rather. This is maybe a slightly accelerated game from us. It might not actually accurately reflect your rank games, but Oh, okay. Some team fights. Interesting, interesting team fight coming out, but that's actually really unfortunate because I hit the Alex clone. I didn't actually get my my W2, which I really wanted to continue the chase. Their W3 was actually really bad for me. Again, not always do you want the W3. We actually should maybe we can win. Wait, they're focusing the other party, so we can probably just kill the Vanya out of this and then look to kill the Laura here. I'm trying to get a W. I should have hit the Q on the Vanya body there to stack up for a W2 to chase. Again, just be honest with yourself, right? The character's hard. There's a lot going on, so you want to make sure that you're using your abilities properly. And I'm so close to this VF, and then I'm gonna feel really, really strong.
Here.
Oh my goodness! I'm so spoiled. My casters love me. My co-casters love me. And again, I don't really care about Aurora Longsword, and I think Levitate is quite bad because your Calth on attack speed. It's okay. Like if you have nothing else, but I'd rather just go Aurora Longsword personally.
Oh my gosh, do we want to take the key card? For fun? We can show people, any of the new players that are in the chat, what the mutant lab looks like.
Whoa, very cool, very cool. PvE. So I actually really like this system because it gives you a chance to catch up in case you fell in behind. You just get a lot of farm, you get some credits back. And this would be a situation where I'm gonna call in my skill, because the next upgrade would be Red Shoes for me, but Red Shoes is so far that I'd rather just get the upgrade to False Oath, which gives me a reset as well when I get downs, and it's really strong. I was saying that you want to prioritize your items first, but if you've completed your build, it is only 200 credits, and your next upgrade would be a VF upgrade. So, in terms of other capped, I guess I can talk about other caps. Blood Crown is a great upgrade from Blue Flame. You can go Blood Ripper over Mishfield or Auto Arms. Those are probably the highest caps. I think Tree goes to Zen Vitality. I don't know what else it could be. We're just that strong that we really have no other use for it.
What is your favorite lab?
I mean, if I get the what is it, the Gamma Lab, that one's pretty good. Otherwise, it's probably Mutant, because you can high roll and get some RNG items, and that's always really. You can just make Zen with that, right?
Yeah, I can hear. I
have water. I have water for you.
Okay. Oh my gosh.
W teammates, the caster synergy always on point. Yes, sir.
I'm going Shuvi. Oh.
Okay, I'm gonna pop my art. Look for a huge ult, actually. Getting a lot of damage off.
Oh, that was a weird interaction.
That was, I kind of like just stayed on the wall, but that might have been an opportunity for me to show off casting E against a wall. Okay. I don't know what's going on here. I think Wick's probably getting taken. You gotta take that for your meteorite. But there's really no point actually because I'm already full built. We can look for a fight. Again, I'm not completely worthless without my R, so I'm gonna look for the fight. Look for the W2 on the back line. I didn't get the parry off exactly when I wanted to. It's a little unfortunate, but we can look for this fight for sure. Yeah. So that was a really good fight for us, and I think one of the things I really want to highlight is, again, even though my R was down there, I still have a lot of damage in my kit. I'm really strong. Don't be too scared to take fights, even if your R's down. It looks like Wickerline is being a bit of a paid actor walking towards us. We see the res right there. We're going to probably engage on that. Oh my goodness. Look at the talent of the casting desk. Oh my, what an engage coming out from Lucy Purr. Don't worry about that R. Awkward.
I didn't see it.
Oh, flash coming out from my go Shuvi, and now we can just take this with the line free. So, if you're greedy, you take the red shoes here, but because I love my teammates, I'm gonna give the VF to my Hayes so she can get the. No.
What if he doesn't want it?
Okay, he doesn't want it.
I think it's your time to shine.
He doesn't want my charity. It's so unappreciated. Red shoes are insane on this character. I'm also gonna switch over to the auto arms now because I was able to. I feel really bad though because I have so many nice items and I'm just getting rid of them. But
Cass's
we get the
charity is a 10-game series.
Cass's charity. Don't do that to me, ERCS players or ERM players, please.
Oh, this is for Shuvi.
Yeah.
If you have yours.
Target acquired.
You
Professor Sen. I'm the real professor, buddy. Sorry. Oh wait. Oh.
Right, come here.
We're going a little crazy right now. I don't even like. Sometimes when there's two Hisuis fighting each other, I don't even know what's going on my screen. I'm not gonna lie.
No, it's kind of like it gives you like Shirichi vibes. You just don't know what's going on sometimes.
All right, and I'm just gonna walk back for the body here, wherever that one. There can only be one professor in town. Sorry.
Oh, this is a good question. I think they're talking about the parry. They said, does the counter block CC like drowsy or only if it blocks the attack inflicting the status? I think they're talking about parry and how it interacts with Sleepy.
Actually, I'm trying to think. I think it still goes through unless you perfectly time it. I would just so for example, I assume you're talking about Vanya ult. Just parry the Vanya ult from the get-go. It's pretty easy to react to because it starts from behind her, so you should be able to see it. It's a pretty slow projectile too. So I would just parry it from the get-go.
Yeah, I think we talked about this earlier, but I don't know if it was because of the question, but we can go over it again. Someone is asking about why Hisui goes blue flame for their headpiece.
So again, you want at least 3 attack speed slots. Even though she doesn't scale off attack speed, she gets or she has a capped attack speed, she still gets extra AP, and you want at least 3 items. And it's just really slot efficient. It gives you defense, AP, and attack speed. Just a really nice item. The slow, again, I don't think is that important. I wouldn't worry too much about it, but it's still nice to have. It's like a cherry on top. So, and you can see that some of us are some seasoned rank players because we're not even communicating and we're just pinging and we understand what we want to do. So all of us play quite a bit of Eternal Return. So even though I'm talking through it, I can kind of play the game. It's still a little harder than I usually would do. I'm usually not like teaching people, but I got enough games under my belt where maybe I can do a little bit of that. Popping the false oath. I'm gonna parry here and then look for the W3. Yep, I still have an R2 here. Gonna go for the W2 on the back line, and that's gonna be a terminate. Yep. And now we have one last team. We should fight them with the Wick buff. Even though my ult's down, I actually think the Wick is a higher priority than my ult, so I'm just gonna look to engage. I didn't get the parry off on the blank cartridge, unfortunately, but we immediately wiped out the Aya, so it should be a pretty free fight from us. I'm gonna look to W2 back into the fight, actually. And yeah, that should be the wipe right here. Nice. Well played. GG.
Oh, you did it.
My beautiful co-casters. Not on Fraud Watch.
You're not on Fraud Watch. No, what do they call it? The Hall of Shame. Yes, we will post the builds, the build codes for you guys again.
So I want to remind you guys. So for this professor, I was doing mostly gameplay on Bitter Retribution and Qmax. As you get better on the character, pivot to Wmax and Vampire Max. It's just a little easier to learn the character, I think, on Qmax and Bitter Retribution. Always put a point in your passive first, though. Passive R, then QWE as you learn, and then it's R passive WQE. Okay.
Awesome. And then yeah, if you wanted to get the build codes one more time, post them in the chat here.
Absolutely. So I will give you guys, because I am just so generous, I have a build for both Bitter Retribution for learning players, but do remember to Q max. And then here is Vamp max, the Vampiric build. So Vamp for the second one, and then Bitter for the first one.
All right, and then just a couple things here. Actually, first, is there anything else you wanted to do? This is your time to give your shout outs, your any last minute tips, anything like that, before we finish and close up here.
So again, credit to the Hisui player I talked to ideas off for this professor. Again, Jignet Jorgensen. If they have any socials, I'd like to shout them out. I don't know if they do. I hope they're in chat. If not, peep their doc, follow them. They've been performing really well on solo queue, on the character. Very good pilot. Check out the character hub, interact with the Hisui chat if there's anything else. I am only one guy. I'm not the best. I'm okay at the game. I can teach you the character. You're going to be better than me by the end of this video, or this, not video, but stream. So I want you guys to go out and kill it in solo queue. Report back to me in Twitch chats, okay? You'll see me in Twitch chats. And if there's any other questions, this is your chance.
Yeah, yeah, and I'll just do the closing things here. If I see any questions come up, I'll try to squeeze them in here. And if you guys have any questions afterwards, like we say, don't be scared to reach out. Feel free to. We're always here for you guys. And as we do professors. We try to do it every first Monday, but with the characters, they're not releasing as much. Our next one will be, it looks like February 17th, which will be Justina, if I said that right. It'll be Superior actually doing that next professors. He is our ERM caster. And as you do know, he just got back from Korea kind of recently and stuff as well, and now he's back on the solo queue ladder. So maybe we can ask him a little bit about that when he comes on for that one. And then as you do know, ERCS signups are coming up fairly quickly actually here. They start on January 9th and they go through the 15th. So for any of you guys that want to join ERCS, we are doing qualifiers yet again here. There will be 16 slots. So, make sure you sign up if you guys are all ever interested, or, obviously, keep on grinding on the ladder to get those guaranteed spots. Qualifiers are very, very new, but they've been very exciting. I'm really happy we brought them aboard here for the Western region. So make sure you guys always sign up, because with those signups, we get to know how much interest there is, and we get to do even more exciting things for you guys. What's our favorite color? Mine is blue. How about you, Kaz?
I'm a big pink enjoyer.
Pink
I like
enjoyer.
pink quite
Look
a
at
bit.
that. We're kind of like Easter, blue and pink. But yes, Q ranked, and as always, thank you for our production team for putting this together for us. It's always a lot of fun, and we cannot do it without them. So make sure you guys thank them in the chat as well. And I think other than that, we will see you guys here in about a month, and I hope you guys have a nice rest of your night.
Thank you for joining.